Assalamu alaikum. This is Pratusha Borwa, welcoming you to the English news from Btv Chattogram. Let's begin with the top stories. Short-term floods expected in 9 districts as continuous heavy rains and upstream floods increased water level of 7 rivers. Government unveils 2027 Hajj packages starting at nearly Taka 5,05,000. Government forms lawyer panel to assess cyberbullying victims. Gazette within a week, informs Prime Minister's Information Advisor. Domestic rice supply self-sufficient. Buyer slams steep retail price gap. US conducts 10th night of airstrikes against Iran. Tehran launches massive missile retaliation on US Gulf bases. National level competition of inaugural Notunkuri Sports begins today. Viewers, those were the top stories. Now moving on to the details. The flood situation in the country is worsening quickly due to heavy upstream flow and continuous rainfall in the northern and northeastern regions. According to the Bangladesh Water Development Board, water levels in 3 rivers are now flowing above the danger level, causing fresh flooding in low-lying areas of 14 districts. The latest data from the Flood Forecasting and Warning Center shows the Kushiara River is flowing about 15 centimeters above the danger level at Finchuganj in Sylhet and around 20 centimeters above the danger mark at Markuli in Sunamganj. Surma River is flowing about 10 centimeters above the danger level at Chatok in Sunamganj, while the Someshwar River is about 25 centimeters above the danger level at Kolmakanda in Netrokona. In northern part of the country, water levels in the Tista, Dhorla and Dudhkumar rivers risen sharply over the past 24 hours. Authorities opened all 44 gates of the Tista barrage at Dahlia Point in Nilphamari to help control the rising water. Flood Forecasting and Warning Center said water levels in the Tista, Dhorla and Dudhkumar rivers may rise further over the next 24 to 48 hours. As a result, short-term flooding may occur in low-lying areas of Lalmonirhat, Nilphamari, Rangpur, Gaibandha and Kurigram. In the northeast, the Surma River continues to rise. Water levels are also increasing rapidly in the Sharigwine, Jadukata, Jinjiram, Shumeshwari, Bhogai and Kongshu rivers in the Sylhet and Mymensingh divisions. Some of these rivers may cross the danger level within the next 24 to 48 hours, raising the risk of fresh flooding in riverside areas of Sylhet, Sunamganj, Sherpur, Mymensingh and Netrokona. Bangladesh Meteorological Department forecast heavy to very heavy rainfall in the Rangpur, Rajshahi, Mymensingh and Sylhet divisions over the next few days. Meanwhile, Disaster Management and Relief Ministry instructed district administrations, Army, Navy and BGB to remain prepared. People living along riverbanks have been advised to move to safe shelters and ensure the safety of children and livestock. The government announced the Hajj packages for 2027. Religious Affairs Minister Qazi Shah Mufazzal Hussain Kaikobad today unveiled the packages at a press conference at the Secretariat. The minister said 2 packages have been set for pilgrims travelling under the government scheme. Hajj Package 1 has been fixed at 6,15,263 taka, while Hajj Package 2 will cost 5,05,648 taka. For pilgrims travelling through private agencies, the cost has been fixed at 5,13,648 taka. The religious minister also said the airfare for Hajj pilgrims has been reduced by about 37,000 taka, bringing the fare down to 1,30,000 taka. He added that all prospective pilgrims must complete their Hajj registration by 24 September. The government has formed a panel of lawyers to provide legal assistance to victims of rumors, misinformation, disinformation, and cyberbullying. The Prime Minister's advisor on Information and Broadcasting, Dr. Zahidur Rahman, said that a government notification formalizing the panel will be issued within a week. He made the announcement today during the government's regular press briefing at the Secretariat. Chief Information Officer Syed Abdul Ahmed was also present. Dr. Zahidur Rahman said the legal panel will work to protect citizens' rights by responding not only to complaints filed by the victim, but also by taking action on its own initiative when necessary. He urged the public to remain vigilant against false and fabricated information. Responding to a question from journalists, the advisor said that the vandalism of sculpture of Bir Shrestha Hamdur Rahman in Chennai was not linked to extremism or militancy. He added that a new and improved sculpture would be installed at a more suitable location. Addressing another issue, Dr. Zahidur Rahman said it was unacceptable that victims of the milestone tragedy in the capital had not received compensation even 1 year after the incident and assured that steps would be taken to address the matter. He also acknowledged that working within the existing administrative system remains a major challenge for the government and called on the public to remain patient. The International Crimes Tribunal too has ordered that former Army officer Mufazzar Hussain, who was arrested 45 years after the assassination of former President Ziaur Rahman, be formally shown as arrested in a crimes against humanity case and produced before the tribunal on Thursday. The order was issued following a hearing today. Meanwhile, at the same tribunal, testimony was recorded in the case of the killing of Taib, the son of a police officer during the July mass uprising in Jatrabari. The case names former DMP Commissioner Habibur Rahman, former Jatrabari police station officer in charge Abu Hassan and 9 others as accused. Lawyers for the defense cross-examined the case's investigating officer Muhammad Alamgir. Separately, at the International Crimes Tribunal 1, the prosecution presented arguments during the hearing on the formal framing of charges in the case of the killing of July uprising martyr Mir Mugdho. The defense is scheduled to present its arguments on Thursday. Also, at ICT 1, a hearing was held in the case concerning the deaths of 9 young men in the 2016 Kollanpur operation, in which Sheikh Hasina, former IGP Shoidul Haq, former DMP Commissioner Asaduzzaman Mia, and 5 others have been accused. According to the prosecution's allegation, the incident involved a staging fabricated anti-militancy operation. The tribunal granted the defense 2 weeks to prepare and present arguments seeking the discharge of the accused in that case. Earlier in the day, a total of 13 accused, including retired Lieutenant General Masood Uddin Chaudhry, who are currently in custody in connection with these cases, were produced before the tribunal. The domestic rice market is completely self-sufficient. Regular imports remain suspended. Staples like Beti, Minicat and Jeera Shayil have remained stable for months. The crisis is concentrated entirely in the premium aromatic Chinigura rice sector. Following the launch of foreign exchange exports, Chinugura wholesale prices skyrocketed from 120 taka to over 200 taka per kg. It is alleged that a few specific companies have been extorting crores of taka from rice consumers in the last few weeks by increasing the price. Consumers have called for action against the retail market to stop unfair rice prices. They point to a 10 to 25 taka per kg gap between the wholesale and retail prices as proof of price gouging. In a major push to transform Chattogram into a clean, livable and dengue-free metropolis, the district administration and city corporation have announced to clean the roofs of all government offices in the district on Saturday. The announcement came during a view exchange meeting held at the local circuit house. Under the theme, Clean Cities and Villages, Build an Aesthetic Chattogram, the view exchange meeting was organized by the district administration. Divisional Commissioner Dr. Muhammad Ziauddin and officials of all departments of the district were present at the meeting. Public cooperation is sought in the meeting to maintain Chattogam's reputation as a clean and livable city ahead of Prime Minister Tareq Rahman's scheduled visit on August 9. Association of Engineers Bangladesh Chattogram AEB distributed relief gifts to 200 waterlogged families in the Chalitatoli and Wajiria areas of the city's Pachlash ward, offering immediate assistance following recent heavy monsoon rains. Metropolitan BNP convener and Member of Parliament Muhammad Irshad Ullah was the chief guest at the event. Irshad Ullah said, "It is a moral and human responsibility to stand by the people affected by natural disasters. Work is being done to help the helpless people under the direction of Prime Minister Tareq Rahman," he added. Chattogram Wasa Managing Director and former AEB Chattogram President Engineer Salim Muhammad Jani Alam presided at the event. Among others, local dignitaries, including leaders of political, social, and professional organizations, were present at the event. Now, international news. The United States has carried out another wave of military strikes against Iran for a 10th consecutive night, with explosions reported in Bandar Abbas, Qasem Island, Chabahar and Shiraz and Abdanan. U.S. Central Command CENTCOM said the strikes targeted military command centers, missile and drone launch sites, maritime assets and air defense systems in an effort to further weaken Iran's offensive capabilities. U.S. President Donald Trump said, "Iran had been hit very hard during the previous night's attacks," describing the operation as a response carried out in honor of 3 U.S. soldiers killed in recent incidents in Jordan and Iraq. Iran, meanwhile, claimed it had retaliated by attacking 2 oil tankers transiting the Strait of Hormuz and striking U.S. military assets in Bahrain, Kuwait, and Jordan. According to the state-run Islamic Republic news agency IRNA. Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian said the country was now engaged in a full-scale war with the United States. Despite the escalating conflict, Iranian officials said indirect diplomatic contacts between Tehran and Washington were continuing through intermediaries even after the collapse of a ceasefire. Meanwhile, Yemen's Iran-backed Houthi rebels have announced a maritime embargo against Saudi Arabia, threatening to block Saudi shipping through the strategic Bab al-Mandeb Strait. The group did not provide details on how the restrictions would be enforced. The announcement has raised concerns over renewed disruptions to international shipping in the region. Saudi Arabia's military said it would continue to ensure freedom of navigation through the waterway. Lebanese President Joseph Aoun is set to meet U.S. President Donald Trump in Washington on Tuesday as part of efforts to secure the withdrawal of Israeli troops from southern Lebanon and advance a long-term security arrangement following months of conflict between Israel and Iran-backed Hezbollah group. The meeting will conclude Aoun's four-day visit to the United States and comes as Lebanon and Israel continue their direct negotiations under U.S. mediation. The talks will take place during discussions over proposed pilot zones under which Israeli forces would withdraw from parts of southern Lebanon and Lebanon's military would move in. The proposal is aimed at strengthening the Lebanese government control of the country's security. Meanwhile, the Lebanese army say its soldiers have begun deploying in the southern town of Raater al-Gabri on Tuesday, following the withdrawal of Israeli forces from the sector as part of a U.S.-mediated agreement. Israel confirmed that the pilot program had started, with its military saying it was coordinating with the U.S. and Lebanon on the implementation. Hezbollah has rejected the direct Lebanon-Israel talks mediated by Washington and instead has expressed support for U.S.-Iran negotiations aimed at ending the border regional conflict, including hostilities in Lebanon. Now, sports news. The national-level competition of the inaugural edition of Notonkuri Sports, the country's largest grassroots sporting festival, began today in the capital under the slogan "Sports as a Profession, Assurance for Every Family." The festival officially got underway this morning at the National Swimming Complex in Mirpur, where young swimmers opened the competition with exciting performances in the pool. The event was inaugurated by State Minister for Youth and Sports Muhammad Abnul Haq. Senior officials from the Ministry of Youth and Sports and the National Sports Directorate were also present at the opening ceremony. Addressing the event, the State Minister emphasized the importance of identifying and nurturing sporting talent at the grassroots level. He said, the government is committed not only to promoting academic excellence but also to developing the younger generation into responsible citizens and professional athletes. As part of this initiative, beginning next year, 8 sports, including swimming, will become compulsory components of the national curriculum from Grade 4. He also outlined the government's long-term plans for the development of sports across the country. Responding to a question about the Indian cricket team's scheduled tour of Bangladesh in September, the State Minister said the government hopes to further strengthen friendly relations with all countries through sports diplomacy. Athletes aged 10 to 14 are competing in 8 disciplines, including football, cricket, kabaddi, chess and badminton in the Notonkuri Sports Festival. Having advanced through regional qualifiers across 10 regions, the country's top 10 young athletes are now competing at 6 venues in Dhaka for national honors. The competition will conclude on